Welcome to day 5 of Driver Appreciation. We're here at Buckeye. I've got with me today Andrew, who is from our Freightbox team. So we're going to dive into what Freightbox is, learn what's up and coming in Freightbox, and then we're going to close this Driver Appreciation out.
Awesome.
Andrew?
Appreciate that, Ashley. So
Absolutely.
my name's Andrew. I'm on the Freightbox team as one of the business analysts over there. Just to give you a little background on what we do with Freightbox, we kind of do a little bit of everything. We have an app out there right now for the shop app to do our QR installs. We have an app out there right now for our drivers on the asset side to do attachments and detachments of empty trailers, finding empty trailers as well. We have an app out there for our third-party guys as well to do their attachments and detachments. And then ultimately what's holding it all together is we have a map for all of our operations employees to be able to track and have full visibility to all of our trailers within our network. So really what it all boils up to is that we're a trailer control team, making sure that we facilitate the control and possession of all the trailers in our organization.
Okay, so do all those in trailers, is it just night trailers or all trailers for all night brands?
Yeah, so not all night brands.
Okay.
We do have night and Swift on our tools, but you're not going to see like USX or UTXL just yet. It is just dry van trailers, so I know I've had questions from some drivers throughout the week about reefer and those capabilities. We're not quite there yet. Once we kind of wrap up dry van, we'll get into some of the other lines of business, but that's been our main focus right now is all the dry van trailers.
Okay, and for the apps, where do our drivers download those?
Yeah, so those are actually nothing that they have to download themselves. As long as you have KT Mobile, it's already there on your dashboard itself. If it's not on your dashboard, reach out to your driver manager ASAP. They'll connect with me, and then it takes just about a couple minutes for me to get that dashboard updated and get you access on the road.
So I'm going to guess that find a trailer is going to be probably the thing that our drivers use Freightbox the most for. Can you walk us a little bit through that, how it works and the technology behind it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it truly is the thing that drivers are using the most right now. What it does, it takes a 20-mile radius around wherever you're at, and we complete a search for available trailers. Those available trailers are pulled in from our AS400 data based on trailer pool commitments for customers, based on cargo sensor details and telemetry updates. So again, we're checking a 20-mile radius. If you're in an area that maybe doesn't have so many trailers, maybe Savannah, Georgia is one I've heard a lot that doesn't have a ton of trailers in that area, you might not see an option that says no results nearby. If you contact your driver manager, that's what we have the map for, is you can go into the map and they can find an option for you. But yeah, I mean, that find a trailer I think is going to be really the biggest thing that drivers use.
So if the drivers get to an area, they can't find it, they've called their driver manager. Their driver manager is going to utilize the map that you guys have built out. It's going to create a larger radius where they can find an empty trailer.
Yep, exactly. Okay. And what's really awesome about that map is that driver manager can actually send a direct link of where that trailer is to the driver's cell phone or to their in-cab tablet, so they can get directions right to that trailer.
Okay, so I'm a driver and I get to that trailer and it's got flat tires. What do I need to do?
Sure. So that's one of the things we hear the most is honestly damaged or loaded trailers when drivers show up. We have options to submit feedback on those trailers. If you go into the attachment workflow and you prepare to attach that trailer, we do have a pre-trip assessment in there. Same thing when you're going to detach, we have a post-trip assessment. Those are truly the best ways that we can get damaged trailer information, especially if you do plan to use that trailer afterward. You can contact Breakdown or On-Road from that same situation. Or if you just come up and you find that trailer is damaged, we have a question mark icon right within the tool that you can click that, and then you can give us any feedback, whether that's loaded, maybe another truck is attached to it, maybe that trailer is damaged, whatever it is that's going on in that situation, relay that feedback to us. And that really is the most important thing that we're looking from drivers right now is, hey, get that feedback to us, and then we know what to fix for our tool.
Okay. Earlier we were talking before we jumped on air about rogue trailers and some of the tools that you all have today that you're working on that are going to help benefit our asset drivers here at night.
Yeah, so honestly, like honing in those rogue trailers and just being able to display an available trailer and know with confidence when we show that to a driver that trailer is actually there is truly one of the most important things we can focus on right now. When we share that out to a third-party company and they're using that trailer and it's not connected to one of our orders, we show that as rogue. If we have an asset driver who maybe took that trailer and is finished with their load and it's not showing at a customer yard or location, we're going to look at that. We're going to see that one as rogue. So we have some stuff there to kind of fine tune some of the details and make sure, hey, if we're displaying something for a driver, we have confidence in that option. And being able to bring back some of those rogue trailers is also going to save us on tow expenses. And just the amount of money we spend to send guys out and track these trailers down. I mean, there's routes created just to have drivers go look for these trailers, and just the amount of money and time we put into that could be spent using other things, whether that's running freight for our customers or keeping our drivers busy. Those are really, really what we're focused on now.
I know you guys had an intern that was working over the summer with the trailer team, that's really what he was doing, was looking for rogue trailers.
Oh, yeah.
How many of those have you guys been able to capture back into the night system?
Bunches. I mean, there's been bunches so far. I don't have an exact number I can share out with you right now, but it's been a lot. And really, again, that comes from being able to have our third-party attachments going through now and going directly into AS400. So now some of those trailers before that you would show up, it shows available, and it's attached to a third party. Well, now we know why. We can track that down to an order level and be able to say, like, oh, this one actually wasn't rogue. It was supposed to be used on a third-party order. Or if it wasn't attached to an order, now we can take some action to get that trailer back. So, yeah, I mean, again, I don't have an exact number for you, but there's been a substantial amount, and we only see that number increasing as we get more visibility on those trailers, again, with our third-party tool or some of the trailer history stuff too.
So if I'm a driver, I'm here in Phoenix, we've got a lot of trailers in Arizona, we always have, and I go to about 3 or 4 different places that I'm being told that we have an empty, and I get there, and the first one, there's something wrong with it. Another one, somebody's attached to it. I'm frustrated. What do I need to do?
So after that first one, if you're not successful, call your driver manager.
Okay. So don't go to 2 or 3
yeah,
or 4.
I was going to say, I don't want to see like a 3 or 4 option. Quite frankly, if we're getting to a 4th option and that trailer's not available, that's something on our team. We need to get that addressed. But honestly, after that first failed opportunity, contact that driver manager and just have them check.
Okay.
See, maybe, hey, do we have to reach out to the customer ahead of time? Before we waste those empty miles, let's call the customer and see if it's there. If that trailer is there, then we can get an updated status on it. But yeah, after that first one, we don't want them driving all around Phoenix. We want to get it on the first try.
And I would guess if we're at the 19-mile mark, you're still going to want to talk to your driver manager, have them call the customer, make sure that that's available before you drive those 19 miles.
Yeah, 100%. It's always good to do your due diligence. I mean, again, I worked on the brokerage side for a long time, and working with those guys, you want to make sure, like, hey, when I'm leaving at the end of the day, did I give them all the information necessary to help them be successful? It's the same thing on the asset side. Like, I want to be able to send them to a location with confidence. So when I move on to my next driver, whatever my next task is, I feel comfortable with what I just sent that driver to.
So if they go to a place, they have a flat tire, it's attached to somebody else, it's not available, we want them to give feedback on the app.
Yep.
Call their driver manager so that we get them an accurate location of where they can go get an empty for their next load.
Yep, exactly. Okay. Follow those steps and you're going to be setting yourself up for success for sure.
That feedback is probably one of the most important things you can do, drivers, because our Freightbox team can't improve our app. They can't improve what we do and the information that we send without that information. So feedback, feedback, feedback.
Yep, 100%. I mean, shoot, that's why we're here this week. And one, it's obviously to thank our drivers for everything they do, but also to get in front of them and get their feedback. I mean, my coworkers are out there on the floor having lunch with them and asking them questions, trying to pick their brain and understand, like, hey, we have our idea of how you might use the tool, but at the end of the day, hearing it from the drivers is really our source of truth, like understanding what it is out in the field that they're doing and what benefits they're getting from it or what more they need. That's going to send our team in the right direction, and then we're not wasting our time developing things they don't need.
Yeah. So Andrew, last question.
Oh gosh.
What are some upcoming things that you guys are doing with the Freightbox app that will be beneficial to our drivers?
Yeah.
We haven't already talked about.
So first and foremost, again, is that third-party tool. That's kind of what we're in the middle of doing right now, is getting that out to those guys so we can understand, hey, what third-party drivers are using our trailers. Really, that's going to benefit our drivers the most because we're not going to be sending them to trailers that are being used by somebody else. But then also being able to get some trailer history for our accounts folks to be able to track those trailers down, get a little bit more detail as to what went on with our trailers, how they ended up in those situations, and then ultimately avoid them in the future. So that way we don't keep sending drivers to those issues. But yeah, further down the line, again, I think it's going to be getting some of those other lines of business in and taking on whatever the business is asking from us.
All right. Thank you, Andrew.
Absolutely.
So we're going to wrap this driver appreciation up 2024. Andrew, you have any words of wisdom to our drivers?
No words of wisdom, just a thank you. Obviously, you guys are doing a ton for us. I mean, shoot, my dad drove truck for 30 plus years, and I always would hear from him about the hurry up and wait and all these wait times that they have to deal with. And, you know, the amount of time that you guys put in there away from your families, on the road, doing all of these things, it goes a really long way. So, yeah, just want to say thank you to all you guys.
Yeah. Thank you from the Freightbox team. Thank you from Knight. Thank you, drivers. We appreciate everything that you do every day. Take care.